Hi guys, so firstly I just wanted to say to you that for a little while I'm mainly just going to be doing energy updates. There are a lot of meditations backlogged on my YouTube channel, which is at indigo_intuitives, if you want to join in some of those and start some of your soul journey work. Um, but there's a lot going on energetically at the moment and with what we're kind of seeing on the human stage. So yeah, I'm going to kind of be focusing in on those aspects a little bit for a while. So one of the things that has been really apparent and really directly obvious over the last couple of weeks, certainly for longer, but especially so at the moment, is just this kind of dramatic polarization that we're seeing between people. I don't usually spend much time on platforms where I would see or experience that. So it's been interesting to me that over the last couple of weeks, quite unintentionally, I've ended up really seeing people's kind of polarized arguments um, on various different subjects. A lot of them are to do with kind of the perceived nature of reality. But I've noticed that there really has been this kind of aggressive pull to either side, and whilst sometimes we go through stages as a collective where we are able to integrate each other's ideas and perspectives more easily, at the moment it feels like there is quite a strong divide, and that there isn't a lot of kind of empathy to other people's views or their perspectives on what's actually kind of really going on and what we're experiencing as a collective, particularly when it comes to issues like war. Um, there is a lot of side taking rather than focusing on solution. Uh, I think that sometimes we see this kind of extreme polarization and chaos occurring before an awakening event is about to kind of happen. So to me, that's actually quite a positive sign. Awakening events can be quite triggering. They can be issues that we see either individually or on the collective scale that really throw us, and they cause us to have shadow work. They cause us to feel very triggered by other people, but that's often because we are being shown the areas where we need to do self work as well. It's not always easy to recognize that or to know what the self work is that you need to do, but quite often, if someone is kind of coming into your space, be it online or into your actual physical energy, and causing you to feel triggered by something, that's usually a sign of something that you need to release and let go from the past. So do bear that in mind. But like I say, going back to the kind of collective, I think that is happening for all of us. So a lot of the issues that humanity has faced and has gone through, and the good and the bad things that we have done to each other over several millennia, is kind of coming back round to be released at the moment. So we end up with a lot of triggering events, a lot of things that cause us to feel threatened, um, as we start to actually move into a space where we can transcend. So, as dark as it can seem sometimes, it's signaling a new dawn, a new change, a shift in consciousness, which is ultimately a positive thing. Um, Also, it's worth remembering that when people feel threatened, when they feel that are they're having either their physical space or their worldview or their take on the nature of reality, when that's being challenged, then they often become more controlling and aggressive. So maybe we see that in the kind of external leadership of the world, the attempts at kind of stronger control, because there are a lot of people that are maybe viewing things in a different way than they might have done a few years ago. but also individually when you see people that you encounter being aggressively in opposition to something that you might say or think or believe, it's often because it's actually kind of presenting them a challenge as well, and something that they have to recognize and let go of. So although there's no excuse for kind of abuse and that real kind of viciousness and aggression, I think the best thing that you can do in those kind of situations where you can is remove yourself from the situation or just not engage in it anymore, because a lot of the time it's not actually about you, it's about the chaos of the superstructure and the reality that we're all experiencing being pulled into question as we are due to release density and shift to higher levels of consciousness. And I was just going to relay to you something that I was feeling coming through. I'd had some visions of rockets and some unusual looking kind of craft and bombs in the sky. This was just a vision, so often it's going to be metaphorical. So I wouldn't take this as a literal thing that will happen, but I do think that we are going to see more aerial phenomenon and activity increasing, and just to be aware that if that is something that appears to be threatening or something that creates fear within you, just to be aware that it may not necessarily be the outside threat that it's being portrayed as, and that possibly it's just to kind of keep you in a state of low vibration, in a state that keeps you from awakening. So go into your heart space and try and do meditations or whatever it is that you feel connects you to your intuition. Prepare yourself for those kind of events. If we do see anything, then you are already in a state where you're better equipped to intuit whether it's something that's genuine, whether it's something you need to prepare yourself for, or whether actually there is an illusory nature to some of the things that we experience. Okay. Love to you all, and I hope that's been of some help. And please join me with some soul journey work to help yourself kind of go through this transcendental process.